Hey, welcome in, everybody, to the second part of our three-part series for estate planning webinars. Tonight, we are going to be talking about power of attorneys. I am very, very excited to introduce Lelis Emerson, who will be doing our interpreting, as this series is an Spanish series. And we're very excited to be able to do that for our community, to be able to reach out to more in different parts of our community, to be able to help them out during these times. So thank you, Lelis. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
So we will get started again. We are doing our second part of our three-part series tonight. We will be talking about the power of attorney statutory form.
Ok, hoy vamos a hacer la primera sesión y vamos a hablar de la forma estatutaria poder del abogado.
Thank you. And again, my name is William King. I am the estate planning and probate attorney here at the Manili firm PC. We are happy to have you this evening, and we will get started. There are a number of features for you to be able to ask questions. You're welcome to ask questions in the chat, and there's a Q&A button at the bottom as well. So during the process, while we're going through this form, feel free to ask questions. I will answer those, during and after. I will also have some time after to be able to answer questions as well.
Ok, este abogado, señor William King, es el abogado para el planiano de estados y para el poder del abogado, y él le va a explicar las secciones del contrato y después pueden usted preguntar las preguntas que necesitan preguntar.
So I hope you have your form. We have these that are available to download online, and we'll be going through that. If you don't have it, we are recording this, and that will be made available, so that way you can go back and look and work through this form while you're watching this webinar live or the recording.
Las formas se pueden encontrar en línea y se pueden printear para que puedan usarla, y si no la tienen se pueden ver y la podemos mandar también. Y esa es una forma que podemos va a explicarla, y si tienen preguntas otra vez, pregunten lo que necesitan preguntar.
So if you look at the form, it can be broken down into 4 sections, and those sections are a designation of an agent, your general or specific authority, what you're allowing your agent who's acting on your behalf to do, a conservatorship section, we'll talk about that, and then the effectiveness and signatures, and we'll talk about that section. We'll work through each section one at a time.
Ok, entonces él va a pasar por cada sección en el contrato del poder de abogado, y vamos a hablar de cada sección, de la designación de agente, de designación de los agentes opcionales, y también para la autoridad general, y los papeles que uno ve aquí, la limitación de autoridad, instrucciones, la fecha efectiva y diferentes. Entonces él va por todas las 4 secciones, va a explicar cada una.
All right, so let's start with the first section. The first section is going to be the designation of your agent. What that means is that's the person that you are going to choose to act on your behalf, to be able to make decisions in regards to your property, which is what this form is all about. This form is allowing somebody to step into your shoes to be able to help you in situations in which you need somebody to help you make decisions regarding your property, your finances.
So, la primera sección que va a hablar es la designación de los agentes, para que dé usted el poder legal para autorizar a la otra persona, sea su agente, para tomar decisiones sobre su propiedad para usted. Si algo le pasa a usted, su agente podrá tomar decisiones y actuar con respecto a su propiedad, incluyendo su dinero, independiente de su actuar, independiente de si usted es capaz de actuar por sí mismo, y también le da autoridad sobre los temas enumerados y explicado sobre el contrato.
And so when you are thinking through this in terms of figuring out who you want to be your agent, who you want to handle these things on your behalf, you want it to be somebody that you trust, that you know is going to do what you want done. especially because this form is a durable power of attorney, which means it remains in place if something were to happen to you and you became unconscious. That's what the term durable means in this situation. If you are unable to relay decisions on your own, on your behalf, this person would be able to make decisions for you in regards to your finances and property. They're able to do it, you know, immediately upon signing this document, unless you state otherwise. But it is durable, which means if something were to happen to you, it remains in effect. So you want somebody that you trust, that you know will be in a position that will do what is in your best interest.
Ok, entonces la persona que usted va a decidir para ser el poder abogado debe seleccionar alguien que tenga confianza para que acte como su agente, a menos que especifique el contrario. En general, la autoridad de la gente continuará hasta que usted fallece o revoque el poder, porque este poder, cuando lo firman, no se puede renunciar. Entonces, eso va a durar por todo el tiempo hasta que algo lo pueden cambiar legalmente. They can change it. Billy, the question was, this is durable until they actually they would be able to change it like later, like if they had.
Right. So the question is, can they change this at a later date? Can they change this at a later date? Yes, absolutely. So whenever you put this into effect, you can certainly, and we'll talk about this towards the end as well, but there are ways to terminate the authority of the person acting on your behalf, replacing that person, or doing a new form which invalidates the previous forms that you've done.
Sí, hay maneras.
It's not forever. It's just until you make a decision otherwise, or if something were to happen to you and you can't make a decision otherwise, then it is a durable power of attorney and would remain in effect. But you can certainly change it should something in your life change and you need to change it.
Pero el poder será duradero a menos que usted indique lo contrario, y se puede hacer otra forma o cambiar la persona en el futuro si no quieres la misma persona que ha apuntado ahorita.
So in this section, the last part that we'll talk about regarding the agent, in this section, you are able to designate your agent, but you can also do a successor agent. And what that means is if the first person that you decided you would like to act on your behalf, your agent, is unable or unwilling to act on your behalf, then this successor agent would move into their shoes. So you want to think through not just one, but two, maybe even three people that you would want in a row. I want this person to act on my behalf. If they are unable or unwilling, then I would want this person to act on my behalf. If they are unable or unwilling, then this person. Certainly understandable if you can't think of three, but you certainly want to think about at least one backup person in case that first person is unable or unwilling.
Ok, entonces está explicando él que si la persona que usted ponga debía también pensar de una persona para segundo, por si acaso la persona que usted pone de agente no puede o no quiere actuar por usted, su poder terminará a menos que usted haya nombrado otro agente de sucesor. So necesita tener por lo menos 2 personas en mente. 3 personas serían mejor, pero claro, a veces no tienen 3 personas. Por lo menos tengan 2 personas, una que van a selectar para ser el agente y una persona para ser el sucesor.
So the next section is where you get to granting the authority that you want your agent to be able to have. So this is where it gets very specific to what's going on in your life, what you need done, and it can be very general and it can be very specific. So if you look at the next page, the page under where it says grant general authority, you have a number of things that you can grant your agent to be able to do. Things like real property, they can deal with real property, banks and other financial institutions, insurances, estates and trusts. So these are all things that you need to think about when you're looking at What do I need done? What are the important things in my life that I need to make sure I have somebody there and able to make decisions about these specific things?
Ok, entonces ahorita estamos hablando del otorgamiento de autoridad general y la clase de autoridad que usted le da a la persona y el agente y el sucesor para que puedan pasar a actuar en cosas generales y al respecto de, perdón, y también incluir la autoridad general para la gente. Entonces, si hay diferentes cosas que uno puede decir, le pueden dar autoridad sobre propiedad, sobre bonos y acciones, sobre personal propiedad tangible, bancos, operaciones de negocios, seguros, todas son diferentes categorías que pueden tener autoridad y usted puede decidir cuáles le da autoridad.
So again, the good thing about this document is that it's very flexible. So you can be as general or specific as you want. You can go in and say, I want these specific things. I want this person to be able to handle these specific things, or I want this person to be able to handle everything on my behalf in regards to my property and my finances.
Sí, entonces ustedes pueden decidir cuáles cosas quieren usted darle permiso de hacer autoridad la decisión a usted o también puede decir específicamente cuál autoridad quiere dar, sobre los siguientes específicos y pueden incluir esas cosas en el contrato también.
The last part of this section, or the last two things in this section, is there is a set out part where you can do special instructions. And in that, you can do something different. Typically, when you sign this form, it becomes effective immediately. However, in the special instructions, you can set out when you would want this to become effective. You can set out other authorities that you want your agent to have on your behalf.
Entonces, dice también, cuando uno firma este contrato, legalmente es efectivo inmediatamente, pero hay una parte en esto opcional donde usted puede dar autoridad y específicamente decir la fecha que quiere que esto le dé la autoridad. Y eso se puede poner también en el contrato.
The third section, in one of the important sections, or the most important section in regards to preventing future litigation, in my opinion, is this third section. It's nominating a conservator. And what that does is you can pick this person to act on your behalf if something were to happen to you and you become unconscious or unavailable or unable to relay decisions on your behalf. And the importance of this is a lot of people get into in-family fighting in regards to who's going to make decisions on behalf of somebody who's unable to make decisions for themselves. And so in this section, you can pick the person that you want to do that. You effectively stop that fighting. You let your family know this is who I want to handle things if something were to happen to me.
Okay, en la parte del contrato donde uno va a hacer la nominación de conservador, eso es la parte donde uno puede decir y dar autoridad a la persona para que haga las decisiones si algo le pasa a usted y no puede hablar y no puede decidir esta persona, usted puede decir, esta es la persona que yo quiero específicamente para hacer las decisiones. Y ahí es donde se pone el contrato y así no hay ninguna peleas contra la familia, entre familia que alguien quiere hacer esta decisión, otra persona quiere hacer una decisión, ahí está en el papel específicamente.
And the reason, really the reason that's important is, and when this matters, is when you're seeking conservatorship, that's when you file in court. And so when you file for conservatorship in court, you are spending a lot of time and presumably money, if you hire an attorney, to fight over who's going to make these decisions on behalf of this family member, whoever it is that's filled out this form. And the reason that you want to put this in here is you are hopefully effectively preventing that from happening. You're preventing those fights. You're preventing your family from spending tons of money fighting it out in court. You're stopping that from ever starting. And so that's why it's very important to think about this section and fill out this section, because you are going to help your family understand what you want, and you're hopefully going to help prevent them from going to court and fighting over who's going to be making decisions on your behalf.
Y por eso es muy importante que esa sección se completa en el contrato, porque esa es la clase de pleito que va a la corte, y cuando se presenta a la corte, entonces hay pelea, hay diferente, y esto previene todo eso, previene las peleas entre familias, entre los líos que hay, y entonces ya está todo legalmente hecho, y tú puedes decidir cuál es la persona que usted quiere especificar para que usted haga las decisiones, y no pueden decir que no. Así queda legalmente.
So the last section is the signature and acknowledgement. It's what makes this document effective. The requirements for that section is you need one witness and a notary. So you need a witness to the document and then a notary to be able to make this document effective when you sign it.
Y la última parte de la sección es las firmas, que se necesita un testigo de firma y después notarizar el documento con un notario.
All right, so we talked about a little earlier, how do you terminate your agent's authority? And so that there are a few miscellaneous things or things that jump out immediately to me in this document that I think are important to know. The last page talks about the specific things that will terminate an agent's authority, but something that you should be aware of is that in order to terminate, or your power will be terminated if you are married to the principal, to the person that has completed this document. If a legal action is filed with the court to end your marriage or for legal separation, unless there's something in the special instructions that state otherwise, that action will not terminate your authority, the filing of a divorce or a legal separation will terminate your or your spouse's authority to act on your behalf under this document.
Ok, sí, entonces lo que está diciendo es la última página de la terminación de la autorización de la gente. Y eso pasa si son casados en el matrimonio, si hay un divorcio, el divorcio termina la autorización de la gente con el divorcio. So if they do get divorced, it terminates their authorization.
Not just divorce. So that's why I wanted to be specific about this. So it's not just a divorce. It is merely the filing for a divorce. So if they just file for divorce, it doesn't have to be finalized. If they file for divorce, it terminates their authority to act under this.
So, no importa si no se finaliza el divorcio, nomás el simple haciendo la acción del divorcio constituye la terminación de la autorización de la gente.
So those are the basics of your power of attorney form. These documents are these and the other documents that we talk about, wills, advanced healthcare directives, they are very important to have in place, especially right now with everything that's going on. But even if we didn't have this uncertainty going on, these are important documents to have in place. They protect you, they protect your family, they protect your estate, everything that you've worked hard to get, everything that you've worked hard to do. We here at the Manili firm are incredibly happy and would love to be able to help you through this process, be able to get you in, talk to you about these things, get these set up for you so that you in your future are both protected.
Estos documentos son muy importantes para el futuro, especialmente como están las cosas ahora en los Estados Unidos, en nuestro mundo, con toda esta enfermedad que hay y no sabemos lo que va a pasar. Esos documentos deben estar en el lugar para que ustedes tengan la autoridad para hacer decisiones. Es una cosa que queremos ofrecerte y ayudarlos con y hacer todo lo posible para proteger a ustedes los futuros y los intereses de tu futuro.
So thank you very much for joining us this evening. That's our power of attorney form. We have one promotion for you that I hope you can take advantage of. We typically do a consultation fee for estate planning at $235 an hour. That's to meet with me. However, if you call before the end or the end of day, the close of business tomorrow. That's 5:30 tomorrow, August 7th. If you call before then and set up a consultation, we will waive that consultation fee so that I can meet with you and talk about your estate plan.
Entonces estamos haciendo una oferta hoy que si ustedes llaman y registran para un consulto, el consulto normalmente cobramos $235 por el consulto, pero ustedes hacen una cita y hacen un consulto para el fin del día mañana, antes de las 5 de la tarde, entonces no te cobran el precio de 235, no se lo van a cobrar. Lo hacen por gratis. Okay.
So I'll leave it open for a few seconds for any questions. I just want to say a big thank you to Lelis for interpreting this evening. Thank you for joining us on this call and helping out. I know hopefully it'll make a big difference for some of the members of our community. And thank you very much.
Muchas gracias por atender. Por favor, me perdone mi español porque lo hago con lo que pueda aquí, a lo mejor. Y por favor, llamen y hacemos una cita para ustedes. Y muchas gracias por atender otra vez.
Like I said, we'll leave it open for a few questions. And if you have any, Lelis, feel free.
I'm just trying to think of any questions that they would have offhand, but you covered everything very well.
Thank you. Okay, so I'm not seeing any questions come in. Let me just double check here. Yeah, so no questions coming in. I guess that means hopefully I covered everything for everybody this evening. Please join us next week. We will be doing the third part of our webinar series. That is a general estate planning part of our webinar series. It will also be English and Spanish. And so, again, we hope you join us for that, and we look forward to seeing you. Thanks for joining us.
Muchas gracias por atender. Y vamos a la tercera parte otra vez para la general planificación patrimonial y por favor puedan atender esa también.